Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, we got a question from PCKT Change, who says, how do you find your ideal jumping weight? This is a good question because we understand that excess body fat is not going to help us jump higher. Relative strength plays a huge factor in how high you jump, your strength relative to your body weight. So how do we find the body weight that we should be to jump as high as possible? What is the body weight? What's the body fat percentage? These are good questions, and I'm going to answer them in this video. But before I get there, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your question down below if you want me to answer your question in a video just like this. And there's a link down below in the pinned comment and the description of this video with access to my advanced training programs. If you want to take the guesswork out of your training, you want me, a professional strength coach and a sports performance trainer, to program your sets, your reps, your exercises, your regressions and progressions, your phases, your periodization, so that you jump as high as possible. Then click that link and get one of my vertical jump training programs or my customized vertical jump coaching. But let's get into it. How do you find your ideal jumping weight? I got out my bodybuilding journal here from back in the day when I used to be a bodybuilder in college. And I would like to preface this video and answer this question by talking about where I used to be, because I think it sets, a good baseline for my answer. So I actually got this bodybuilding log, and I thought that I had tracked the body fat percentage that I used to be. So I tracked my weight, and I was weighing about 185 pounds at the end of my cut right before I stepped on stage. And I didn't track it, but I can remember being about 5% body fat at the end of my cut. And this is with the skin calipers from a college-aged exercise science student. So not as accurate as a DEXA scan, but I was definitely shredded to the bone. And it was about 5 to 6% body fat. However, I could not even think about jumping my highest at 185 pounds, 5% body fat, because I wasn't eating a lot. I was in a huge calorie deficit for, months at a time. And you can't perform optimally when you're not giving your body enough nutrients. You can get really shredded, and that's what I needed to do for the sport that I was in, which was bodybuilding. But an ideal body weight is going to be different for everybody, because there's athletes watching this video of all different shapes and sizes. For myself, that shape is a little bit round, as I showed you yesterday, but there's different heights. People have different skeletons and bone densities. So body weight is going to be different for everybody. And while I was 185 pounds shredded back then at 5% body fat, I've stated in a couple videos here on this channel that right now, at the beginning, January 1st, I was 230 pounds, and I would like to get down to 200 pounds. And a few people have commented, and they said at 6'1", which I am 6'1", 200 pounds is still pretty heavy to jump as high as possible, which that is definitely true. So how did I come to myself being the body weight of 200 pounds? How do we understand that for ourselves? And how do you all know what body weight you should be? I don't think we should focus on body weight. That is a guess for me, and that is based on experience. I have been 200 pounds shredded before, jumping very high. So back in the day when I was jumping 43 inches, I was around 200 pounds, 195 to 205 is where I stayed for a period of years, and that is where I was most athletic. Any lower than that, I do still have a decent amount of muscle, not as much as back in the day when I did bodybuilding, but I do still have a good amount of muscle, and getting any lower than that, I think, would take me out of the body fat percentage range that I want to be. I don't want to be 5% body fat. I can't perform optimally at 5 or 6% body fat. So what I think is optimal is not to focus on weight, because that's going to be different for everybody. And you can, with experience, find out the weight that works best for you. But the answer that I want to give you is a body fat percentage range. So if you look at all the highest jumpers in the world, they're all lean. Like they don't have excess body fat. So I think for most of us, there are going to be outliers, but staying between 8 to 12% body fat percentage is going to be the right idea for most people. And for some people with different body types, like the higher end, near 12% is going to be closer to where you want to be, maybe even 13 or 14 or 15%. For some athletes, it's going to be lower than 8. For example, teenagers who have a very fast metabolism and play sports all the time, and they have a hard time gaining weight or building muscle, like they are really, really lean, and they might be under that 8% body fat percentage, and they might still be able to jump as high as possible and perform optimally. But your answer is, for most people, I think you should be between 8 to 12% body fat, and you want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough food. Somebody did ask a question. I think I want to make a separate video on this topic, but somebody asked, can I be in a 500 calorie deficit and still do all my strength training and plyometrics? And my answer is yes, if you have body fat to lose. But if you don't have any body fat to lose and you're in that 8 to 12%, I think you should just maintain, or if you want to build muscle and improve your strength and power, maybe a slight calorie surplus. So the only reason I think that you should be in a deficit is to lose body fat, if you need to lose body fat. If not, then as Greg Doucette says, you might want to gain. So maintain and just try to gain strength, gain muscle, and gain power, velocity, all the qualities on the force velocity curve. Because it is definitely possible to improve those qualities without building more muscle. Strength and hypertrophy kind of go hand in hand, but you can get stronger without building too much excess muscle. But for me, I'm not willing to try to decrease the amount of muscle that I have to be lower than 200 pounds at the end of the day. It's just not that serious to me. And I would like to, when I get shredded, right now I'm a little bit floppy and fluffy, but when I get shredded, I still like to fill the sleeves out a little bit. Not these sleeves, because I wear oversized t-shirts because I'm a fucking fat fuck. Sorry. I'm trying to swear less. But anyways, that's your answer. Stay between 8 to 12% for most people. Some of you, that's going to be higher towards the 12%. Some of you towards 15. Just don't make the excuse, oh yeah, I'm a 15% type of guy. Be honest with yourself and, eat the correct amount of calories per day for you to perform as well as possible, but still stay lean so that you can jump high and have a high relative strength in the process. But that's my answer. Like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, leave your question down below if you want me to answer your question in a video just like this, and click that link and get one of my vertical jump training programs or my vertical jump coaching. We got Beyond the Rim 1, 2, and 3, Beyond the Rim Strong and Bouncy, Beyond the Rim Project Plyo, the Vertical Jump Secret System, all the programs that you need to jump as high as possible. Click that link and let's get to work. I will be there in the app coaching you every step of the way. But I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or some other time of the day. Love you all. Peace.